everybody, and welcome back here on the Heroes Launch main channel. Nos and Aviator had to go hands up, and Sven's Angels also left, and now we are here with Division 2, with those grand finals. And for this, first of all, I will have Delino right next to me. Welcome.
Thank you very much.
Another offlane main, as I hear it. And on the other side, well known for his Division 7 casts, now looking like a robot. Welcome, Josh.
Hello. So I have casted a total of 2 games this season, but one of them was a best of 5 series that went to game 5. So we'll see for how long we will be stuck here with me.
Indeed. And looking at the teams, we have Entre, Parenthèses. The name was sadly a little bit too long, so I had to shorten them into Parenthèses, which is the short, or which means in brackets, or in Klammern in Deutsch. So it's gonna be interesting to see them play. Also, fun fact on the website, nearly every one of them has the name in brackets, so Entre Parenthèses, so yes, yeah. Alright, so let's jump over to the teams. We are going to start with the Nexus Critters. They made it the first place in Division 2. And looking at the bracket, they faced Pune Airline in the first round of the bracket, and then Cursor in the second round did not drop a single map.
Quite an achievement, honestly. There are usually some very good teams that make it to the cup, especially in the semi-final stage. In fact, both of those teams have managed not to drop a single map in the entire cup. But speaking of Nexus Critters, we do have their favorite Lunara as our most picked hero. We do also have a bunch of ETC plays and a bunch of Leoric plays, 10 games each on each of them, and we do also have a bunch of heroes played beyond that. As a pocket pick, I mean, Kel'Thas is actually an interesting one to me as a Division 7 player, because Kel'Thas is really a mainstay down here, even though he's not as proficient in the recent seasons as people become more ingrained in the better ways to play the game. But I'm interested to see how Kel'Thas might show up in the higher divisions.
Yeah, the reason I put Jaina, Ming, and Kel'Thas into this box, it shows that they have a very broad and wide range of mages they can present. They also played Gul'dan, they also played Junkrat, so they have a lot of different mages they can show off. And that could definitely help, especially in those wave clear maps, as one of the most played maps is Tomb of the Spider Queen. So this will probably help there. But then also looking at Battlefield of Eternity there, the Ming also brings out a lot of joy for most players.
Yeah, I remember playing against them. I think it was in a scrim. They're a solid team, so definitely teams to look out for. Can't remember any details of the game, unfortunately, but you know, that's
so you're probably lost.
Yeah, I mean, that's the only thing I'm sure about. We got
fair.
stomped, but yeah, I like a lot of the picked heroes. Lunara is pretty strong at the moment. I'm not too sure how she's doing after the recent patch, but at least before then, she was really strong and really annoying. Yeah.
Indeed, and then having a look at Entre Parenthèses, we do, so for them, the bracket looked a little bit rougher. They made it in as the 3rd seed from Division 2, but they also managed to not drop a single map in the bracket stage. First, they were against another pair of franchises with no Kiwis, no wins, and then against Isao Makro in the semifinal, both 3-0s into their favor.
So yeah, usually when you see the teams both stomp through their halves of the bracket before getting to the finals, it means that we either are gonna get a bloodbath because the teams are equal to each other, or we're gonna get a stomp. I'm really hoping for the first one, but first of all, let's figure out what Entre Parenthèses are actually playing. And their most picked hero is Lucio, but don't let that fool you. Lucio is their most picked hero, but he only has 8 games in the season, which means that Entre Parenthèses are a team that likes playing a lot of different things. As a matter of fact, they have 5 different heroes at 6 games played. So we have Brightwing, Mei, Leoric, Vala, and Blaze all at 6. So a very big variety of characters that they can play, and you can see in the pocket picks that there are some very spicy things to look at.
In the meantime, let's also have a quick look at the maps. As we already jump into game number 1, we do see Entre Parenthèses banning out in front, trying the Volskaya Foundry. Nexus Critters removing Tomb of the Spider Queen and Sky Temple. And then for map number 1, we do have nothing else, which we already see earlier today. It's going to be Battlefield of Eternity.
I'm just happy the Shrines got banned.
Not in the game yet.
I wasn't even able to jump on this. But yes, indeed. Fernando Shrines is banned as Yosh is here. And the bans are already raining in, as we do see Entre Parenthèses banning out this Rega, who has been really coming up recently with those changes and was not allowed in a single game in the first series, and here he will keep on getting banned. Then they also removed the Lunara, and on the side of Nexus Critters we do see bans against Chromie and Vala, and the first pick, Blaze, is coming in.
I think that Chromie is actually the more interesting ban here, and I mean, it's very expected, honestly, against Entre Parenthèses, because they have picked Chromie 7 times, their second most picked hero, and have not lost once. So might as well just take it out. Pick up a Blaze, very solid offlaner, can bring a lot to the team, I believe, while on the other hand, you do let the opponents pick up a Stukov, you do let the opponents pick up a Ming. Both characters are very good right now. I think Ming can also raise quite a bit. So we shall see how the game will proceed. The drafts are actually moving through quite quick so far.
Indeed, we do have a Tracer ban coming out after Malfurion and Sylvanas are picked up by the side of Nexus Critters. As we now have the next ban from Nexus Critters. What will it be? Probably maybe a variant or something, as we already see Stukov Liming, which helps with great one-shot.
That's interesting. Actually taking out a Thrall, so I'm trying to target an offlaner, but I'm not quite sure how big Thrall is in the match right now. Can you please explain to me this? Because I would rather much just ban some kind of a Leoric, maybe. Try and stop those entombs.
I mean, Thrall is pretty strong with the Earthquake. Like, it's one of the strongest ults, especially in at level 20 with the shields and everything. It can really turn the tide of a fight. So honestly, I think it's a really good pick. And banning it out, it just means that you have some more options in the offlane, especially if you want to offlane with Blaze, because Thrall really trades well into Blaze.
In the meantime, we have Diablo and Tychus picked up on the left, Varian and Greymane to finish out the draft of Nexus Critters. So we do have a taunt, we do have a better taunt out of the two that are available in this game, in my personal opinion, and we do have quite an amount of follow-up. We do have the Bullet, if need be, we do have the Go for the Throat, if need be, in the Greymane, and also Sylvanas probably go in Mind Control just to crowd control the target a little bit further, and there comes the Leoric that I wanted.
Indeed, there's the Leoric coming in against the Blaze, a great matchup in the solo lane 1v1.
Yeah, I think it's pretty open because they like Battlefield is such a team fight heavy map that they both bring different things to that, and Blaze is really good in the team fight even if he kind of loses the offlane. It's not about winning the offlane, it's just about catching the soak, and he can do that just fine, you know, standing behind towers.
Indeed.
The comps are really interesting. The Taunt Varian is gonna... I'm not sure how he's gonna fare against the Stukov, if that's gonna hinder him a lot. Honestly, don't understand why they let Stukov through the ban phase, but they might know something I don't.
So, which draft do you guys like more out of those two? Because I think I like the game plan on the right a little bit more, because it seems to me like it's slightly simpler to execute maybe, and it's a little bit simpler in theory, I'd say. You just taunt and you blow up the taunted target.
I feel like both teams just have a straightforward, we try to kill something. So it gonna depends on who will be the first one to do it. But let's jump into game number 1.
Let's do exactly that, shall we? And on the left, for Entre Parenthèses, we do have Acleos playing as the Leoric, Romux on the Diablo, Noto on the Stuk of Thievery playing as the Liming, and Tileth on the Tychus.
Yeah, you can just do the other team as well.
Right, sure. On the right, playing for the Nexus Critters, we do have Shinato playing as the Malfurion, Kaju on the Sylvanas, Mustard playing as Blaze, Lol Sonic on the Greymane, and Gabriel playing as the Varian, as the teams are starting to move out. And I have to point out that the team on the left, the blue team, are trying something cheeky.
Oh, definitely. Are they going to get anything here, though? So they're going to scout the Blaze, but he's in a position where they can't really do anything. So, yeah, nothing really came of that.
I think the main reason to do this is just to go mid, because the enemy has a Sylvanas. Maybe they are going to be trying something sneaky with black arrows and just trying to keep your composition slightly closer to the top lane in case you need to defend it. As of now, Sorry.
No, go ahead.
As of now, we do see that the top lane is actually getting pushed out in favor of Entre Parenthèses. Mustard spend a little bit too much time in the mid part of the map trying to guard those rotations. As in the bot lane, the teamfight begins and you, Gabriel, gonna get thrown over, losing a lot of HP and actually dying to a low blow. That's going to be our first blood.
Yeah, and they almost got the return kill on Diablo, but he managed to get out. And Greymane had to take a lot of chunks, so an early back from him because of that. And now Entre Parenthèses can just take the bot camp, which is going to give them a decent chunk of XP and a little bit of pressure.
But on the other hand, Nexus Critters actually gonna start the Bruiser camp right now. I'm not sure, are they gonna try to delay it a little bit for the first objective, or is this gonna be a straight up cap? I think both options are looking interesting, and actually Sonic is standing on the point, they are taking it. While Diablo and Tychus are both rotating upwards. That's going to be a stun on Mustard. Mustard not going to survive for much longer.
Yeah, they're really, Entre Parenthèses are really putting on the pressure early on. They're going for the top camp as well now, and I'm not really sure why you would get the hard camp this early, honestly, because now it's just going to get cleared way ahead of the objective, and you're not going to get the pressure that you'd otherwise get from it.
I think the
especially
theory
with the top camp.
I think the theory behind it might be just to apply pressure in the offlane, just to make sure that you are doing some damage there, and also it means that your camp will spawn earlier for the second Immortal. Maybe you're trying to delay it and try to time it correctly on the second one. Meanwhile, Entre Parenthèses taking 3 camps out of 4 on the map, finishing it up with the Bruiser camp of their own, and both teams are starting to gear up for our first Immortal phase.
Yeah, they're just posing now, just trying to catch as much soak as they can. But as we can see, Entre Parenthèses have a half level lead, which is going to be pretty huge if they can keep that up. Especially as we get close to 7 eventually.
It's not as important so far because there's still at least a level before level 7. But as of now, we do have the halftime show actually triggered by Entre Parenthèses, and the fact that they can just go ahead and actually no, they're trying to defend. I'm surprised by this. They're not even sending anyone to race for themselves, just trying to find some kills quickly before Blaze shows up from the offlane. Sylvanas gonna get overpowered, but misses the silence area just by a little bit, saving Kaju over here.
Oh, we get the taunt there? No, but as you can see in the bottom lane, we do have the camp pushing for Entre Parenthèses, and it just got cleared. But they did manage to get the whole gate from that, and they've got Li Ming on race, so they get a pretty decent amount of shield on the Immortal, as well as are they gonna get anything here? Almost getting Leoric, so Nexus Critters almost managed to get something there.
That's what Sam was talking about during the draft. The silence here is just such a good stopping point for any of the taunt attempts that are happening. Very annoying to deal with, and basically kind of saves Leoric over there. as the Immortal slowly starts moving out in the direction of the red team.
Yeah, the Stuk of Silence can really turn a fight and really destroy and engage on its own. It's probably one of the strongest abilities in the game at the moment.
And, well, I'm actually liking how Diver is playing it. Before the wall fell, he was on his side trying to yeet those orbs behind the wall instead of actually just trying to push, because I don't think that Liming has that much structure damage, so just being able to maximize the damage on heroes, being able to maximize the zoning potential for the Tychus to get in, for the Leoric to get in, is quite an interesting play. And now they're sitting in the bush, now they're waiting for Nexus Critters to move out.
Yeah, they're trying to force a fight here. Could be smart.
And Diablo goes in, there's going to be an overpower, there's a
Oh.
silence on the Malfurion. Malfurion puts roots down, but will die immediately afterwards. Tychus tries to chase Kajo, but he just blinks over the wall, and that's going to be the end of this fight.
Yeah, that Tychus grenade really just sealing the kill on Malfurion, just knocking him back and making sure he can't escape. It also does a ton of damage. And are they going to push down the top fort here? Looks like that's what they'll be trying to do. Really going to put some pressure on then.
Gabriel trying to move in, but here we see the Tychus just dash away. Does not allow that pressure. And I think there was something else in there as well, I'm not sure what exactly. Probably just a grenade to stop the dash, to stop Varian from really connecting with the target. Very nicely done.
Yeah, I couldn't see either. But Tychus is a really annoying hero to play against because he's so slippery with his dash and he's got so much damage that it's really difficult to do anything against him, especially with the Suko backup. Now they take the camp early, or not early as well. So
And
this is what we were talking about actually with the camp for the second.
That's why they took it early the first time, just to make sure they do it on time the second. But here comes the overpower. Romuk's gonna get slapped, gonna get taunted actually by the Varian, but that's a little bit too tanky of a target for them to try and blow up. Diablo just moves out and the engage stops here, but Nexus Critters on the other hand get some nice position to do some racing.
Yeah, and they've also got the top camp pushing, so they're gonna get some value from that. But Entre Parenthèses are gonna get their 10 before them. And let's see if they can do something with it before Nexus Critters get their ultimates.
Actually, now that I think about it, I like the fact that they've done the camp early the first time, just to make sure that this time around on the second Immortal is where they strike, where they do most of the important things. And now Entre Parenthèses have to defend, and they also have to do some racing to catch up with Nexus Critters. But on the other hand, Nexus Critters don't really want to fight because they don't have the talents for it. And they are stuck here, just Blaze trying to poke out the Immortal, but the damage is really not here, so I think the better idea is just going down as a 5-man and trying to force something on the wall.
Yeah, just trying to do something at this point. They're not getting level 10 in time. Instead, it just looked like they didn't really do anything with it. So, yeah. Entre Parenthèses pick up the second Immortal as well. And it's going to the bot lane, so let's see if they can get the second fort as well, and that'll put them way ahead of Nexus Critters.
And they also get the camp as well. Stukov starting it with low blow, not allowing the bruisers to despawn while Liming blinks in to do the damage. Here comes Overpower on the Greymane. There's going to be a silence, there's going to be a mind control. Romux losing half HP, but Greymane is the first one dead here. And with the camp moving in, with Immortal moving in, this fort is pretty much dead. They can actually go and try attack the keep. Let's see how much further.
I think going keep here is the way to go. They should at least get the.
Let's see how much further they will go. I think that a good idea here would have been to try and destroy the well, but as we'll know, since the last patch, not quite an option for the teams anymore. And
no, that's going to be really difficult.
So,
but yeah, they should be able to get
on a flank. There's the Entomb on 2. The main target here is going to be the Malfurion, but Mind Control connects on the Tychus. That's going to be a kill. Very nicely done. Leoric dying as well. Entre Parenthèses overstepping just a little bit, and Nexus Critters finally biting back.
Yeah, that's a common thing to see in Division 2. People push and then stay just a little bit too long, try and get a little bit too greedy, but still they got the fort down, they got the keep wall down, so it's not all that bad for the Entre Parenthèses. But now at least Nexus Critters have a way back into the game. They're not out yet, so it's going to be interesting to see the next Immortal phase to see who can do something.
I mean, to be fair,
Yeah.
so far the Battlefield of Eternity games that I have seen in the playoff finals have been on the longer side, and I think the longer the game goes on, the better the team that is behind gets, because the objective just becomes stronger and stronger, and eventually you will just win one of them, and that usually is enough to at least make the game equalish, if not outright turn it through. That said, they're gonna try and do something. Mind control just slightly misses on the audience. That would have been a big catch if they were succeeding, but there's a taunt on the Diablo, the cursed bullet doing quite a bit of damage as well. Acleos trying to dash in, misses the W, is forced to walk out, and Entre Parenthèses, that's an interesting attempt. I like
what they're doing though, because they have the 13 advantage and they can get some keep damage, and if they get a kill there, then that's a free keep, and and even so, they didn't get the keep or a kill, but they still get the pressure.
The Immortal stun makes sure that Note is not going to be able to walk away from the taunt. Ay. That said, I do like the attempt. It is a little bit... It did look a little bit hasty and weird to me, but now that I'm thinking about it, it also buys time for you. Makes sure that the enemy team is not doing much before the Immortal, because there's still this bruiser camps that they can take, or rather that they could have taken, but now it's a little bit too dangerous to waste that much time on the camp. Romox losing all of HP here, Sylvanas doing a lot of damage with that level 1 talent. The Entomb not going to be that useful as Nexus Critters actually just get ahead.
Yeah, now that they're going to be able to... Well, Diablo had 100 souls, so he respawned, but now he's a lot weaker. But it's going to be a 5v5 again, or if they're just going to race. And we see Nexus Critters are going for the camp, so they're just posing up on both sides and seeing what they can get.
Not even trying to go for the race, not even trying to overstay, just going back, resetting, taking those sips from the well, and looking to go back once they have taken the camp and diverted some attention away. However, their Immortal is falling quite low, so that's only 4.5k HP on it. Can be rushed down. There's a taunt on Stykus, there's a Diablo going in there, and you are a little bit too far, my friend. Blaze finds a stun on 2, that's a lot of different things in a lot of different parts of the teamfight. Bunker goes down, there's going to be a stun on the Sylvanas. That Stukov not feeling too great, but Sylvanas is the one there.
From Blaze.
And Blaze is going to fall down as well. Diablo keeps on going, finds a Malfurion. There's going to be a 3rd kill, and I don't know how they survived this, quite frankly. Both
did they do that?
And the Liming did not have any HP at some point, but having 1 HP is enough. And right now they are gonna be fighting this one 5v2. Let's see how much they will go for, and if they will overstay this time around. Will be a hard ask to do, honestly, considering that the Immortal is going up top. And
they'll probably just go top, try to get as much on top keep as they can, since the respawn times are still low. But yeah, that was a great fight from Parenthèses. They somehow managed to turn out. I was so sure after the jet propulsion from Blaze that that was GG for them, but they managed to survive on 5% HP, and 3 of them, and that was huge.
I think the main issue here is that the teamfight got a little bit too spread out, a little bit too thin, and the comp of Nexus Critters really wants to be hyper-focused on the one target, where if they split... Oh, that's a nice mind control, but not enough follow-up for it in any way, shape, or form. Gabriel tries to go in, Romux not having any HP, actually going down. The Immortal goes on the core, but it will not break the shield. No, gonna fall down as well, and that's going to be 2 picks for nothing for Nexus Critters.
Well, 2 picks for a keep, so...
guess the keep would have fallen down anyway, right?
And 6% of the core, you know, that we've all lost games where we had less than that left on the core, so it matters. But yeah, for sure, they could have.
How many games have you lost due to a Leoric backdoor while the rest of the team is pushing down top 4? That's the real question here. He's not gonna go for it.
I've usually been the Leoric backdoor, but yes, not that many. But you know, he's actually gonna get some damage here.
I like what Nexus Critters are doing, but they really need to start going back. Blaze actually backs out just to stop Acleus from doing the damage to the core, 89% on it. So the lower that percentage gets, the higher the chance that Entre Parenthèses will just straight up drop everything they have and go for it.
Yeah, that's what they can do now. Like, if they get 1 or 2 kills at this point, they can just go and try to end, which is huge for them. Meanwhile, Nexus Critters have only taken down 1 fort, so the map is wide open for Entre Parenthèses and pretty closed for Nexus Critters. They have almost 0 vision and have to be really careful about where they step.
It's an interesting trade that Nexus Critters have actually gone for there. They've traded, what, 7% of their core, 6% of their core for the enemy bruiser camp, not allowing them to put any additional pressure on the map, especially in the top lane where it's not feeling too great, but the bot lane is also not looking too good either, because Nexus Critters really want to start taking objectives down, and they can't really durdle on those objectives because the waves are gonna be pushing in, so the longer it takes for the waves to push in, the more times they have to take down the Immortal, so just buying more time for themselves with that play. That said, the Immortals are up on the map. Leoric has pushed in the top side, and they will need to send someone to defend.
Yeah, Blaze should probably go right now to do it, but at the same time they get the camp there, so it's gonna take away some of the pressure from the next wave. So maybe they'll fine.
Well, they actually send in Greymane, which I think fair. Works. It also has quite a quick wave clear. Also, I don't think
quicker than Blaze. And well, we see Entre Parenthèses are just chunking down the Red Immortal. Ming just gets so much work
and we go in. There's going to be a taunt and the mind control and the roots on the Tychus, but he just presses Odin and is fine, honestly. Meanwhile, the Entomb, the Silence, and the Orb all connect on the Greymane, sending him to the grave. Acleus not feeling too bad, actually, just sitting here on 80% of HP as his team secures halftime show. Sylvanas gonna run away, losing a lot of HP thanks to the Liming damage. And I think they have lost this objective. I'm not quite sure how they will be able to turn this around. If they are gonna try. Kaju looking to be a target by Acleus, gonna hit a W, losing a lot of HP and actually falling down as well. That's going to be a second death on the side of Nexus Critters, and the third as Blaze falls down. As the objective starts spawning in, I think this is going to be game.
Yeah, this is definitely game. Malfurion's gonna die now as well.
And the Entomb as well.
Huge Entomb.
Just on the edge as well, that's some very nice spacing.
And you could see there earlier, you have the pre-20 Silence Entomb with the Stuk of Leoric combo, which is super fun to pull off. I recommend it to anyone.
I'm surprised that people are actually still going for Buried Alive if there's a Stukov on your team, because Buried Alive reduces the duration of your Entomb, and just having the combo makes sure that the Silence Entomb lasts for 1 second longer. Anyway, the Immortal doesn't even get to hit the car.
No, doesn't need to. That's what I was saying. As soon as you get 2 kills when the game state is like that, then it's just GG. You can just walk down the core.
In the GGS, Entre Parenthèses takes game number 1 from Nexus Critters. Oh, a very strong performance from them. Nexus Critters, they had 1-2 moments where it looked good, where they tried to win a team fight, but in the end it was not enough to secure them in Immortal, and with that try and push some structures. As you mentioned, it is really hard in those moments, because there's always catapult pressure against you and your core, while not being able to defend that, while you also do not want to go for the defense of that, so the opponents can go for the Immortal race.
Yeah, and all the times Nexus Critters won fights was when they'd already lost something. So they managed to get kills on the return, but couldn't really do anything with it. And that's kind of what Entre Parenthèses managed to do. Like every time they got a kill, they managed to translate that into some sort of structural advantage, and that's how you win the game.
I think the other important thing to notice is how they just gunned Stukov. Stukov was able to interrupt so many engages that started on the part of that Nexus Critters have tried to start with Varian, with the Sylvanas. And just that silence zone ruins your engage pretty much. It makes sure that Varian does not get to walk out after going in. It does make sure that the rest of the team doesn't really want to follow up as well. And yeah, it's just no fun playing against that. Probably gonna be a ban in the next map. Speaking of the next map, what do I actually have there?
Indeed, we do have Nexus Critters going for the first pick, so Entre Parenthèses with the map choice, and they will bring us towards the Towers of Doom.
Yeah, this is a great map. This is one of my favorite maps in the game. It's really complex, and you can win even if you're so far behind. It's never over until it's over. So, and it opens up for so many different types of play. Like you can go for a team fight heavy comp, or you can go for a more macro heavy comp, and you can make all sorts of things work here.
Indeed,
it's really interesting.
It's over when the core goes to 0%, as you cannot hit the core immediately. You always have to either channel altars, be in control of every bell tower of your opponents, or take a boss, or bring the Seppas into the death zone.
Yes,
actually,
that is correct.
I believe it is the first time we are casting together, so I do want to ask you the question that I usually ask to all of my co-casters when I meet them. When you get the choice between the first pick and the map pick, what's your thought process? What are you usually choosing? Why are you choosing the things that you're choosing?
Generally, always first pick. But that's just how me and my team play. We prefer to have the opportunity to get the heroes we want, and we can dictate play from that. The map is not that important. It is important, but you have to be able to play every map. And even if we have maps we're stronger on or weaker on, if we get the comp we want, we'll pretty much always win. So that's what I think about that. Like if you have first pick, you can try to get Stukov. If you go for map, you just have to ban him instantly.
That's actually a good point. Let's see if Nexus Critters will try to keep that Stukov open for themselves on map number 2, because the draft is starting right about now.
Or maybe it's a Rhaegar!
Oh no, not the... Rhaegar's gonna get banned.
Actually, Josh, how do you feel about Artanis winning Division 3?
Easy for Artanis. Always believed.
Alright, but as we go into game number 2 between Entre Parenthèses and Nexus Critters, exclamation mark, bet A if you think our blue team will be able to get the second victory in the series, or exclamation mark, bet B if you believe into the red team tying out the series.
Speaking of Rhaegar, there he is.
Yeah.
I'm actually surprised that it's going to be the first ban, because I feel like teams usually want to throw around those big commodities on the market as like a hot potato, because you don't really want to ban the guy, but you also need to ban the guy because then the other team gets it.
The thing why Parenthèses bans it first is because then their second ban can be reactive towards Nexus Critters ban. For example, if Nexus Critters ban out Vikings, then Parenthèses would have to ban out Abathur, because Vikings ban Abathur and counter Abathur, and Abathur just do be pretty strong. But yeah, Nexus Critters with the first pick on the Blaze, and Parenthèses.
I was gonna say, the Blaze pick, I don't understand why first pick Blaze when Stukov is up. I do not understand that at all. And why ban Tychus when you you leave Stukov up? It's
Blaze is a nice little engage tool that also has tools to save himself or his team as well. Even, I guess even through the silence, I think if you press it quickly enough, you are able to counter the silence a little bit. Ooh,
yeah,
also
sure, you
the
can.
Tracer Ending. I've lost a game to that combo. I do not like that.
If they get the Johanna as well, I think Entre Parenthèses need to ban Johanna. If not, Johanna Anduin combo with Light Bomb and Falling Sword is just it can wreck you. They go for the Nubarak ban actually, which is also a good ban.
Yeah, it's also a very good Light Bomb target, I think. Has an engage on it. Has also the Cocoon, which I think is a more reasonable reason to ban him for, because we do have the Stukov who's kind of squishy, doesn't really want to be on the front line, but has to be on the front line, and also likes the Diablo ban, like making sure that the amount of synergies with the Entomb is cut down to as small a percentage as possible, and also taking out the Tychus in the first stage just to prevent the composition from the first game, I guess.
Also, now they had to ban out the Diablo because else they could not kill him. So we shall see what Parenthèses are able to pick up now. They could go for the Johanna themselves or something else.
I wouldn't mind the Johanna. The Tyrell is the good pick as well. Tyrell with Vala, that's going to be a lot of damage. That's going to be a lot of damage.
And then you pick Morales as the last pick. Do it.
I mean, to be fair, Parenthèses, they can pick anything on the last pick. With Tyrell, they have someone who A does support Devala, or B could support a beat assassin a la Maiev, Kerrigan, whatsoever. Especially with Sanctification, they have a great tool for that to help out there. They can also go for an Ufer and go for some double support shenanigans with the Stuka. So we shall see what they do. It's this area.
Wow.
Daria, okay, this is interesting.
So we do have an ETC, which I haven't seen in quite a while. I'm not quite sure how ETC's mosh pit works with Sanctification. Does it stop it altogether, or are you actually immune to the stun?
Yeah, immune while you're in the Sanctification. I have to say, I do like the draft of Entre Parenthèses. They have the Lyric for double soaking, who is great at it. Then he wins technically against Blaze in 1v1.
Yeah.
And then we also do have a great format for the bot lane with the Zera, so they can't just push in for it. There's also Tyrell giving shields to minions, so Nexus Critters do have a harder time clearing those out. So I do really like the draft from Entre Parenthèses, and I think they will win it. So we'll bet A in the chat, and if you think the same, you can also bet A on them, or bet B if you think Nexus Critters do have the better draft for game number 2.
You'll be able to get it together at some point. Don't worry, I believe in you. That's it.
Let's go into the game.
On the left, for the teams that's currently ahead and is looking to get even closer to that match point, we do have Entre Parenthèses with Ecleus playing as the Leoric, Diveri on the Zarya, Tileth on the Vala, Noto playing as Stukov and Romux on the Tyrell.
The battle begins.
And on the right, for Nexus Critters, we do have Shinato playing as Anduin, Lol Sonic on the Tracer, Kaju as the Sylvanas, Mustard playing Blaze, and Gabriel on the ETC, picking up Progrok as our first level talent. Don't see that much often recently. And a very early start, a very early fight for the teams, just trading damage in that bottom lane. Romux not feeling too great, losing half HP already. The silence is not gonna do much because everyone's just dashing all around. And we're gonna stay like that for the time being. That sense, this silence is much more effective, just preventing any entry or exit out of the gate. Making sure that the amount of pressure that Entre Parenthèses can do with their a little bit of a pushing foreman is maximized as much as possible. Just taking down the wave that quickly, and those towers are already feeling quite a burn. Gabriel has to rotate around the long way to make sure that he finds an opportunity, and he doesn't even find anything.
Here we go, I'm back. I lost sound for a bit.
Hi
Don't know
back,
what happened.
I'm Yash. We did have a very effective push by Entre, Parenthèses, but now as the camps are on the maps, both teams are moving for them.
Yeah, pretty normal things there. Going for the camps early. You want to get these camps on timing, as they give you a bit of push, they give you XP, and if you manage to push them in, then you get a lot of structural value from it. So it's really good.
And while that's happening, we do have Sonic rotating to the mid lane just to make sure that XP is getting picked up there, because Blaze is a little bit stuck up top. Leoric slightly winning the pushing game, and while that's happening, Romux is rotating down bot to clear out the camp, clear out the wave, and continue on the death push. Just look at how many minions are there. Look at how much HP Sonic is losing right now.
Oh wow, that's a lot of chunk on both the Sylvanas and the Tracer.
And
oh,
that's
they
our
get
first
the
blood.
kill.
Wow.
They get the kill. That's really unfortunate for Nexus Critters. This is going to put them quite a bit behind.
That's at least a third of the tower, almost a half even. That's
Yeah,
really
we're not even
looking
at
good.
the first altar phase. This is looking grim already. But you know, it's a long game. Things can still happen.
And also I think that the right side might need some levels to really pick up the pace there. We do have the Tracer with the bombs, we do have the light bomb, so that engage should be something that really helps turn things around for Nexus Critters in the later stages of the game.
Yeah,
And
for sure.
as our first altar spawn in on the map, Divry is gonna get engaged on by the ETC. Kaju's gonna blink to the altar to stop the channel, as the offlaners are gonna... No, Sonic actually interrupting.
Yeah, he was interrupting and trying to steal it, but Tyrell
Has to
rotated up, so
go
he managed
back
to
down.
stop that.
And the bottom altar is still not taken by anyone. And now both the Tracer and the Tyrell are moving downwards. I actually like that Entre, Parenthèses dropped it, noticing that Tracer is moving down and Tyrell is still busy taking the damage. That said, Blaze is already nearby, could find something, misses the E. Romux losing a lot of HP there, as does Sonic. Sonic dashing out, staying alive. Tracer breathed on her a little bit too hard and she's dead. Gabriel trying to power slide in,
Gabriel
gets
almost dies.
saved. This
Blaze
is a
is
long
going
fight.
down.
Traded 1 for 1, but the 1 for 2, sorry.
And the trait value from Tyrell. That's what you want to see. That's why you should die on Tyrell.
You shouldn't die on anyone. But you do get
you
the
need to
altar.
get the trait value.
I'd rather get the alive value, mate.
I mean, true.
That's
we
a
need
low
to see
blow.
falls down as well. Oh no, this is looking grim. And now they'll be able to take both the camps as well, and potentially push them in. That's really early. 4.5 minutes into the game, and they've already taken a fort and are able to take the camps and go for a push.
4 minutes, 28 seconds. That fort falls down, and now they're going in on Sonic.
Oh,
Sonic's
Tracer's
gonna
gonna
dash
die
out,
again.
but the dash out is gonna happen into the silence. Which has timed out, but the one last tick was enough to secure the kill there. And yeah, this is just disgusting. As I've stated, when both teams sweep through the bracket, it's either gonna be a close one or a sweep. And I think this one, judging by game 1, judging by game 2, this one is gonna be a sweep. As much as I hate it.
Things could still happen, but it's not looking too good right now, that's for sure.
The 2-level lead for Entre, Parenthèses, as our second set of altars is spawning in. Those are gonna be the double altars in the top lane. The Sappers camp is actually getting cleared out almost perfectly by Nexus Critters, only dropping 1 HP point in the process. HP point, hit point, sorry. Tracer gonna go and interrupt the channel while Mustard is picking up the altar on his own side.
Oh, she
Misses.
was bomb.
That's the second one. It doesn't matter how many you've missed, as long as you hit one, you're fine.
Yeah, that's true. But still, hitting that would have put a decent amount of pressure on Leoric.
Sylvanas is dying in the bot lane, as Vala is actually forced to go up to secure the channel. And because that tower in the bot lane is controlled by the blue side, we do see that even though they've traded one altar for one altar, the blue team is winning this trade by 2 core hit points.
Yeah, they get an extra shot every time, and that's gonna just keep on growing. And now they can also put pressure on the other lanes. Leoric's gonna be able to clear a lot faster than Blaze, and that's what's freed up his team to do what they've been doing. Oh!
And there's a mosh pit on 2, there's
Cheeky
going to be a
mosh
live
pit.
bomb, but an instant sanctification and the silence as well, stopping the mosh pit, stopping the engage. Shinato gonna get into him, gonna get killed. That's a kill on the support very early in the teamfight. Very big for Entre,
Oh,
Parenthèses.
Sonic's gonna die again.
Diving in, we had a Chazar W which did not work out quite well in the final earlier, but can we get a Sonic W in chat? Because that's gonna get... That is a pattern by this point in time.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. Now we see they keep on taking the camps, and this is just what you want to do at this point. Just stay in bot lane, get the camps, try to push them in, and then slowly win the game. And just let your offlaner do the work.
123 stacks on the level 1 Creed of the Hunter for Zavala. As our next altar is spawning in the bottom of the map, and there's no way in hell that Nexus Critters are gonna be able to get this, because to get down there, they need to get through a tower, or they need to get a very long flank that is also very easily defendable. However, mind control on the Stukov will not help much because there's just no follow-up nearby. And
Yeah, I think
hurts.
that mind control is just doesn't really do anything because it's too far away. He's too far away, and you're in a bad position already. And they've got too many tools with Zarya to help him save him. So there's really nothing you can do about it.
And yeah, so it's gonna be sad. As of now, 21 HP on Nexus Critters, who are still trying to find their power spikes, it seems like, or just trying to find one good fight. There's going to be a mind control on the Tyrael, but not the best target, even though he
No,
goes into
not
the
at
death
all.
zone. Doesn't get enough damage on him. Sonic gonna fall low to that Vala, gonna be forced to back out.
See, there's a 2-level lead as well, and this is looking dire for Nexus Critters. Surprisingly, I thought they were going to be stronger, but looks like they're going to have to do some work in the next game if this keeps up. Granted, they still have HP left on their core, so they can come back, but it's not looking great.
So let's try to theorize how would the great team fight work for them. I mean, obviously the 5-man mosh pit, but that's never gonna happen, right? So what are the most vital targets for you to get in that mosh pit to win the team fight?
Stukov and Vala probably.
Right. Divery gonna
Good
eat a
chunk
pulse bomb,
on-
and there's a
they
mosh
get
pit
the
on
Stukov.
2, but there's going to be a sanctification stopping
Yeah.
Zarya from getting out. The interactions that I was actually asking about before the game, the 4-man stun from the Blaze, a power slide from the ETC is very important as well here, but doesn't lead to any kills, and unfortunately, that's very unfortunate. However, they do manage to trade back their tower, and they can now try and contest at least some of those tower altars. The
Yeah.
mid one is not going to be in the cards, but Gabriel is...
ATC's a bit deep. Oh, he's gonna go down. He's
The
going
silence
down.
as well.
Somehow. No, he doesn't.
Oh, the
And
silence on 3 in the meantime.
it's
Shinato not
huge.
feeling too
Shinato's
great.
going down. Kaju going down. Oh, they actually get the kill on Leoric.
Kaju actually
That's
died
something.
before Shinato, and is able to heal himself quite a bit when it matters. However, it doesn't help much. It just buys more time, which
Yeah.
doesn't help at all because Blaze dies as well and leaves only Sonic to try and
4
soak
kills
some
to
more.
1. That's never a good good spot to be in. And now they could go for the boss, so they could just get the camps and try to push in. Overall, they're just owning the map at this point.
And I like this. They're not capping immediately, they're waiting until they take down this tower to maximize the amount of shots that they're sending into their opponent's core. Even if you are ahead by this much, it is still Towers of Doom. If your opponents at some point decide to clutch up and stop losing, you are in for... You can actually lose from this position, or from positions worse than this, so you might as well maximize the chances.
Exactly.
Minimize the
mind
times that
control
you need
comes
to...
on Tyrell, but he gets saved by Zarya. Zarya just brings so much utility.
The expulsion zone is so good. Oh, and the silence in Tomb, the Kaja not feeling too great, but it's gonna get pulled out by the Anduin. There goes down a bunker. Tracer tries to go in, but massive shove stops the engage. Ay, and Nexus Critters just unable to do anything. That's 3 more shots. 9 points of HP on the core. You would really expect the team at some point to just go to the other lanes and start taking towers down there as well, but look at the discipline, just making sure that you sit bot and you take that little advantage over a chance to get the BM pings instead.
Yeah, because you don't need the other towers, you just need bot. And with the camps there, you can just win the game slowly from there. You don't need to win 100% as long as you win, you know.
Mm-hmm. Well, let's see, the altars are gonna be spawning. One of those altars is enough for Entre Parenthèses to end with the boss, and because there are 3 of them on the map, I'm pretty sure that one of those will be taken. That's it.
They're gonna take the bottom one, and then probably go for a channel here.
If they take 2 altars?
The kill on Tracer, that's gonna be game. Unless they can do something.
Tracer Wow. I don't know, should I to the low blow or to the Zarya, but it was immediate. She goes in and she immediately dies in that silence zone.
Blaze goes down, HC is gonna go down.
And the sanctification as well to ensure that the channel is not gonna get interrupted as Entre Parenthèses. Gone to the match point in game number 2. Wow.
GG. HC actually lived. I was wrong there, but you know, he was going to die if the game hadn't ended, so
What?
we'll say I was right.
And I'm just baffled at this point, I have to say. Entre Parenthèses looking really, really strong in those first 2 games of the Division 2 finals. Nexus Critters, it's now on them. It's time to focus up, ban that Stukov, and win some games.
Yeah, that Stukov needs to be banned, and they need to stop first picking Blaze, because yes, Blaze is good, but he's not first pick material. He's too easily countered, especially that early.
Yeah, I agree, especially when Lyric is up, and then apparently they showed that they play Lyric. Then either ban the Lyric, or just don't pick the Blaze that early on. I feel like Entre Parenthèses, they should just pick the Murky against the Blaze and show them how painful it can really be playing Blaze. This is really one of the few, like, Blaze, he is a great hero, and it is rough to really counter him, but if you go up against the Lyric in the lane, there's not much you do except for running behind him, because your early game wave clear is a little bit worse than his, and you just drain your mana pool over time if you just keep on spending all your cooldowns onto those minion waves to just keep up with the Lyric. So you really have to make sure you get either something else or ban out the Lyric, or in general just maybe wait with the soul laner for later and maybe give them the Blaze and pick yourself the Lyric. But especially the Stukov with the Lyric together, those entombs with the silence underneath, they have been really, really strong for the side of Entre Parenthèses. I mean, as you mentioned, 4 minutes 30. 4 minutes 30 for the first 4 to go down on Towers of Doom. I feel like that's nearly a new record.
Yeah, I've never seen it go down that fast before.
Okay, offlane mains, but yes, I think the main problem here wasn't really the offlane per se, it was the foreman.
I agree.
Domination was just disgusting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely do agree with the idea of either banning or picking away the Stukov, because that guy stopped so many engages and killed so many people with low blow alone that it's not even funny anymore.
And in the meantime, we do have Nexus Critters again choosing to go for first pick. So we have Entre, Parenthèses. Is it Parenthèses?
Parenthèses, maybe?
Parenthèses?
I know.
Parentheses.
Oh, sorry.
Parentheses.
I mean, they are
Parenthèses.
French, so we're supposed to fake the accent, you know?
They will go
make no
for
claims about being
Alternate
French.
Pass as game number 4. But yeah, I agree.
So-
The thing though always is the issue which always brings out in those in those games is if you ban the Stukov and you don't ban something else, suddenly it shows, hey wait, it's pretty disgusting. There's a reason why why people always banned X hero against them. And for the side of Entrepreneurs, it could be the Lucia, could be the Chromie, you know? When there's a bad heroes to pick a lot. So you never know.
I mean, Ultric Pass is a good Blaze map because it's not a double soaking map, and the slow you get from the oil spill is really good with the slow from the mud. So this could actually be a decent map for Blaze. Or Thrall is also really good here for the offlane, since we're all obviously focusing on the offlane. But yeah,
Every map is a Blaze map, bro. Ultra Pass, here we go. Game number 3.
Offlane, best lane. You heard it here first.
Alright, so I guess split in responsibilities is pretty clear. Those two guys are discussing the offlane, I'm discussing the other 3 roles. And we do have the Chromie first ban, because once again, that Chromie still has a 100% win rate, so might as well just take it out.
Because you don't
Chrome
let
is
it
strong,
through.
Chrome is annoying. So,
I agree,
yeah,
especially
that's
an
totally
Ultra
fair.
Pass long range poke is pretty disgusting when you are able to just throw over those walls and are able to stall those objective pickups. For example, Junkrat has been a really, really annoying
Oh,
pick.
there we
And
finally see the Stuko
Let's
ban.
go!
there we go!
Finally.
Nexus Critters! Maybe it's the
About
win
time.
condition.
About time.
Throw 2 games to give
Now
false
we-
hope, and now we
Now we
reverse
have
sweep.
a,
Let's
now
go.
we have a game.
There's still the Rega ban coming up, Parenthèses. So who is left open compared to
Blaze.
the other games?
It's gonna be a Blaze. I dare you. I triple dare you.
Don't, please!
I'm not sure, man. If it is a Blaze, I'll be surprised.
I mean, also
But I
like,
won't hate it.
the thing is,
Oh, it's a
even
vibe.
even if the Blaze is not a bad pick, their system did not work 2 times in a row. Just trying it another time with the hammer through the head, with the head through the wall, does not make it any better. You know, you have to change things up to see what works better against which opponent. Nexus Critters, they will change things up. They will pick the Valda way this time. So, Parenthèses, this time not going for any Zarya Vala combos. Instead, they will pick up the Brightwing first and the Hanzo.
I mean, as I've comprehensively proven in Kindergarten, you can shove a square peg through a round hole if you apply enough force, so maybe they're just not trying hard enough, but we do have a change of draft from both teams actually, and I'm quite like the idea of that. We do have a Hanzo, we do have a Brightwing just to get those interrupts and get some global presence as well. Speaking of global presence,
My boy!
well,
About time we saw the Haka.
take it away. Take it away.
About time.
He has been
Yeah,
nerfed.
I think the Haka really opens up some interesting options, but having globals on both teams is
He has been
going
nerfed.
to be good.
He has been nerfed. He's still broken. Though.
We just
Yeah,
need to
still
keep
too
talking.
good.
We need to not let Samu talk about the hacker because I want to get through the rest of the draft. We also get
I love
Andrew
the Haka as well.
for the 3rd game in a row, and actually a Garrosh ban. What might that be moved by? Why a Garrosh? Why not Varian? That was the thing.
It
instead of
might
James
be
Fire.
Parenthèses looking for a Diablo, like Diablo Arrow Epoch combo, and therefore you ban the Garrosh as Garrosh is a really strong counter to Diablo. This might be the reason. Next Critters, let's see if they will ban it. I would like the ban, but no, it's going to be Mephisto, which is a
Interesting.
next level ban to it because the Diablo like if you arrow apoc someone and then have the Mephisto to follow up with the damage and with the root, it is definitely tons of damage, and Nexus Critters probably die to it. But for now, we do have Johanna Maiev. She was banned all games in the series earlier of Division 3 Maiev. Now she's in the hands of the leading team.
And while Maiev was a last-minute thought, Johanna was picked pretty much instantly. Just having that hero go that far through the draft is quite impressive. However, on the other hand, we do have a Hogger. At least down there in lower divisions, there are teams that split very harshly on the Hogger issue. Either you don't play Hogger or you play him all the time. How are things going up there with the character?
He's really strong if you're good at playing him, but that's a big because he's really mechanically difficult, in my opinion. But
Hogger is great. I love playing Hogger. But yeah, Hogger also brings in the camp duty for Nexus Critters on Outlook Pass with the pew 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 a bit. But yeah, Parenthèses now with the Illidan last, which is very interesting. But there's a triple front line, so you know. Feel the hatred of 10,000 years.
We have a draft, gentlemen. We have a draft. This is
no Stukov in this time. Let's see if this is the.
I'm not sure which way this is going. I think I like Nexus Critters more.
I'm gonna bet on the red team as well, because picking up MIF and the Nilden on a prison map is just a little bit too cheesy for me. I'm sorry.
Alright, let's jump into the game.
Speaking of
jokes,
on the left for the French team, Entre Parenthèses, we do have Romux playing as Johanna. We do have Eklios on the Illidan, Tileth on the Hanzo, Note still playing the Brightwing, and Divri on the Maiev.
And on the right side we have Shinoto playing Anduin, Kaju playing Vala, and Gabriel playing Anubarak, Sonic playing Dahaka, and Mustard playing Hogger. Now, does Hogger like Mustard? Do we know?
Well, Mustard likes Hogger, so...
Does it go both ways? I need to know. Chat, please tell me.
Question. Are they gonna 1-3-1? They probably will, but what will the left team do? How are they gonna put those lanes?
I mean, they have Brightwing, so they can use her for...
And that's a W? No, Hogger's just gonna dash out. This is very aggressive from Nexus Critters, just trying to send it as hard as possible with their very melee-oriented draft. Not a lot of range between the teams. I think Vala and Hanzo are the only things that we have that really provides that range damage.
Yeah, I mean, technically the healers are ranged as well, but the amount of damage they do is not too great.
Hell yeah, let's go. Variance Legacy, Hyper Carry, Anduin. I don't think the game's actually got to level 20 before that, so a little bit of a stretch from Nexus Critters if that is indeed the strategy, but I'm willing to believe that it's not going to be that way. Meanwhile, Hogger, as prophesized by our very offlane-oriented casting desk, gonna take the camp. On the other hand, we do have an Illidan alongside a Hanzo, picking up the camp of their own. And yeah, that's the first set of camps on Ultra Class, because as soon as it spawns up, you must take it down. That's the laws. I don't try them, sorry.
I mean, the camps here are really good. They're a good source of XP and give some pressure. And the Ultra's just a big map where you just need to control as much as possible.
I actually like the idea of picking it from Entre Parenthèses, because it's a thing where you can't really play too much macro. Of course you can do it a little bit, but because of the specific of the core, because of the amount of things on the map that you can actually take, which is very low. You do only have that one siege camp in the mid lane and the bosses. You can't really do that much macro on the map. You are kind of forced to teamfight, and so far the teamfights have been so overwhelmingly in favor of the French team. A-Class gonna get jumped on by two people trying to dash around. There's going to be a Brightwing and the Johanna going in to help.
Yeah, I don't think we'll see too many kills early here. There are too many tanky heroes, and most of the damage heroes are not online yet to just burst them down. So it's just going to be poking back and forth.
Meanwhile, both teams are showing why you are taking that camp as quickly as you do the first time around, because that way you can take it the second time around, just as objective spawns.
Exactly, and you can also take it a third time and a fourth time, and it just
And a
keeps going
fifth,
throughout
and-
the... And here we see just a bit of skirmishing between Maiev and Anubarak.
I actually find it quite funny is the fact that Nexus Critters have a very melee setup means that Entre Parenthèses don't really want to fight. They don't really want to go in, they just want to poke them out. Which means that there's a lot less skirmishing in the early game, which means that they're losing a lot more slowly if they are losing. Which I like that from Nexus Critters, just making sure that you have more time in the game to play and find your own advantages, compared to, say, game number 2, where they got completely and utterly roasted.
Yeah, for sure. It's something about feeling that you're in the game, and you, even if you are losing, oh, there's a couple of kills. No, they're just the one kill.
Speaking about
Noga.
early kills, yep, 420.
Oh, 420. Okay. And almost got the second kill on the Vala as well. So
By that time in the second game, the fort was already down. Just to put
Yeah,
into
true.
perspective how slowly this game is moving through.
why are the forts still up? I don't get it.
How dare they?
Yeah, keep it up, guys. You're losing it.
Oh lord. Why is this game taking more than 10 minutes? My brain can't handle this.
Oh, Vala's getting a bit chased here.
And
but
Noto's
she's
gonna
not.
try to channel but gets interrupted, and there's a second interrupt, and they can keep trying to find something.
And we see
Let's
Hogger
see.
is taking the camp again.
The third attempt is actually going to succeed, so the timer gets started, 25 seconds on the clock, Mustard nearby as well, and Nexus Critters are gonna mount a counter-offensive to try and prevent everything from happening. The drag is in, but it's on the Johanna, not really the target you want to drag ever. Hogger trying to dash around, doing some damage, and those are some very weird angles that he's dashing through. Casual and Acleus trying to duke it out in the sidelines, and Acleus is actually gonna lose this one. Maiev gets a drag on two people, dashes out, but Nexus Critters strike back, get the kill for themselves, and actually get back the objective.
Yeah, that fight was literally everywhere. Heroes were just jumping around.
And now Gabriel is gonna channel for Nexus Critters, starting the clock. It actually starts from 18 seconds, so at some point in time they actually were able to start it, and it got interrupted. I completely missed that fact, but
Yeah, same. And meanwhile, Dahaka's also pushing a bit top, so they're gonna get that pressure.
and the
It
fight
comes
begins in U. 1.9 seconds. Interrupted. 0.5, and that's going to be the first objective going in favor of Nexus
Oh,
Critters.
that's big.
The first objective in, I wanna say, 2 games, but Towers of Doom you always trade the first one, so it doesn't quite count as...
And they also get the kill here on Johanna with the cocoon. That's a really good setup there with the Hogger trait.
Lose 2 games to give false hope, and force yourself to play better up against the wall. Because up against the
That's
wall is
fun.
where the critters are at their scariest, because there's nowhere to run, you can only bite through.
Don't critters live in walls, or
I
Well,
don't
does
know.
depends on the critter?
It really does. I mean, you can't burrow on that map as much. I guess that explains why they picked the Dihaka just to burrow, as critters do.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, we do have a falling sword and a... not sure what that Maiev ultimate is called. I'm gonna apologize. Warden's Cage, yes. Thank you, my brain. And yeah, that's going to be our first fort on the map. 6.5 out of 10. As
So they don't get too much out of the objective. I mean, 1 fort is pretty much what you expect at this this stage, but you know, it's still they're a bit ahead, or half a level ahead, Nexus Critters, and they're gonna get a tiny bit of pressure on the keep wall top.
I mean, it isn't much, but it definitely is some very honest work. The Haka not feeling too great down there. Sonic actually gonna get through.
The Hako's busted, so he can't be killed, you know. Especially with, well, he's not even race car, but with tissue regen, you get so much healing, and with, well, you just burrow out.
Yeah, you don't.
It's the Haka,
You don't
it's super easy.
I'm actually surprised that there's no low for burrow talent. I think that I see this. What?
They
That's
get
a...
the boss. They
Wait.
don't get the boss. Oh,
They're
this
fighting
is a
for it.
huge
Oh,
fight.
no, they still get it. They get it because he walked out of the circle. Oh no, Maiev is dead, however, and Tyler is looking to be the next target. Maybe, probably, I don't know. Emerald Wind by no tear. That's not an ultimate we see often on Brightwings, and now the Brightwing is in a very, very interesting position, trying to get out.
Managing to
No,
survive.
not anymore.
No.
And meanwhile,
They're gonna get a
Gabriel.
counter kill on Gabriel. Yes, they are.
While all of this is happening, while they are trying to do their fiesta, the boss is taking down the wall, Hogger falls down, there's a kill on the Illidan.
And the mid fort fell to a camp, so that's the power of the camp. That's why you keep on getting it.
Okay, what just happened?
There was so much. All of a sudden, they were taking the boss, and then we had a fight, and then the mid camp got the mid fort.
Because this was... This just...
We have a game. We have a game.
We do have a game.
Nexus Critters are definitely back into it, and well, they've got 2 heroes that can burrow versus 0 heroes that can burrow. So, is burrowing OP? Some may say so.
I mean, I know that I'm seeing in this call with the Haka mains, but come on, you don't have to make it that obvious.
No, I'm saying an Ubrak. That's the champion. He's actually been really good with the cocoons. Just a lot of playmaking opportunities with that.
Oh, and now Entre, Parenthèses are actually gonna go for... Ah, that's a nice jump. Just interrupting the cocoon, just stopping it. The light bomb is not going to work because Gabriel moves out. Yeah, the communication just slightly off here. Robux, however, losing a lot of HP. Hogger trying to dash around, losing a bunch.
Hogger with a good ult on
interrupting the Z from the Brightwing as Akeleos not feeling too great in the backline there. Beavery now gonna try and dash out to safety, losing half of his HP, and Nexus Critters winning those health rates very comfortably.
Yeah, they've got so much sustain. I'm actually surprised they didn't manage to get more kills there, but yeah, really good trade for them. And they've just got so many tools to keep Vala alive, and she can just stand there and shoot and shoot and shoot.
And stack her quest. Kratos had her 123 auto attacks done to the enemy heroes so far, and that number is just gonna keep increasing. There's not really much that the enemy team can provide in terms of diving Zavala, because there's so many melee targets that you really don't want to try and fight with. Very, very nicely done, actually, by Nexus Critters. So far, the fights seem to be going in their favor. Another camp going up and going down as well. I believe that's going to be our 4th one. Forget counting sheep, you can just count the camps on Ultrac.
It'll make sure to make you fall asleep, that's for sure.
I mean, not with those boss attempts. That was...
Yeah, I'm not sure what they were thinking going for the boss there. That seemed a bit desperate. They didn't really need to.
It was very unneeded, but it was a very interesting and cheeky call. I think that in lower divisions that actually works out, because I think that the other captain just doesn't understand that this is happening.
Yeah, for sure.
And even with that fight being a complete mess, they still managed to get the boss because the Haka walked out of the circle, and the boss still has done a lot of damage to the fort. Even then, we do have our objective started. The light bomb yet again does not connect with anyone, unfortunately, but the countdown is on the clock. 30 seconds left. And now Entre Parenthèses are the ones who need to fight for this.
Oh, there's the cocoon on Maiev. Are they going to do anything with it? And they
oh my god.
get the combo again.
That was
But
just nasty.
you've got the Illidan in the backline now.
Is it enough?
Can he do something? Well, you never know about Illidan. Sometimes he can 1v5, sometimes he can't do shit.
The teamfight splits a lot, and this favors Entre Parenthèses, I think, a lot, because a big power of Nexus Critters is just being that big block in front of Zavala, who's just able to auto-attack and auto-attack and auto-attack. And now, once they've got to a choke, I think that Nexus Critters got themselves a little bit of an advantage, but not for long, because we do have a second person falling down on the red side, as Entre Parenthèses stops the channel at 1.1 seconds to go and starts their own. Yeah, just split a little bit.
They somehow managed to turn it, and that's really fortunate for them. But they need to keep up the channel here. Nope, they're just going to give it back. Okay, because they'll need to guard their own objective now.
The Haka standing there menacingly, not allowing anyone to interrupt those little minions channeling the objective for themselves. That's going to be our 5th camp, by the way, for everyone keeping track. And Illidan is gonna move top side to just defend this camp. You do have the hunt, so you are able to go on the objective if needed when the teamfight starts happening. And bring with yourself a very important 1-second stun, which can interrupt some very annoying things if needed.
Yeah, both teams just posing up now, and Nexus Critters are going for the objective now, but are they going to be able to get the channel?
Well, the E does not work out as an option anymore, but Johanna finds the right angle for herself. That's going to be another interrupt, and I think this attempt is gonna get stopped now. Yes, indeed. I think that even if nothing happens for the next few minutes, Nexus Critters are still ahead because they get level 20 that much sooner. I think that's half level lead, which doesn't sound like much, but is actually quite important once those teamfights start happening with level 20 downs. However, they seem to be trying to force the issue. I'm not sure if I like it, but there's a cocoon on the Johanna, there's a Warden's Cage by Delivery, and Hanzo is gonna ult as well. Illidan going in on Shintaro and doing cutout in the backline without anyone to help him. Vala being the next target, and Hoggerdyne as well. And
kills there.
And also the Nuberg just got squashed somewhere in between. And with everyone done and dusted, just go for the boss. Because you don't even need the objective, because a single Maiev can hold the objective, because the Haka will not fight. Why would you fight a Maiev when there's 5 people on the map, on the enemy team?
Exactly, he can't do anything. All he can do is try to get Soak and try to get them to 20 as soon as possible. And all of a sudden we have a turn game. This might be... this might be it, actually, with the objective, with the boss. This might be the end of the match, if they can just keep this up, because they've still got a few seconds left until Nexus Critters spawn.
And so, we have the boss.
To push.
We have the objective pushing in as well. Illidan is in the mid lane, just making sure that you are getting some more values than just a keep. The rest of the team is trying to look for a fight. There's going to be a cocoon on the Maiev, but Maiev has a second jump to keep her safe if need be, because they did get their level 20 and they can actually start trying to force those fights. The keep is not gonna stay alive for much longer. The fort, on the other hand, just fallen behind the halfway mark, actually also gonna fall down. Illidan, meanwhile, going straight up to the core. There's going to be an engage, 1 ult, 2nd ult. There's a lot of things happening in that very small amount of the map. The boss is not feeling great, but the core is slowly but surely losing HP. However, it will not lose enough HP to die, and that means it will regen to full. So Entre Parenthèses choose not to overstay and instead go to the other lanes, more interesting ones, because
I'm not sure if they should have just gone for another keep. and try to get some more value off of the objective, because it's really hard to get the core with a full team up, even if you have the boss and the objective, when you have 2 keeps up.
I mean, they still got 2 forts, a keep, and they are setting up for the boss immediately as this objective is over. They didn't clear out the walls, so the enemy team knows about this, but how quickly can they show up to the point to start fighting for it? Gabriel is nearby already. Divry gonna get cocoons. There's going to be a falling sword. Eclair's gonna get stuns. The Vala getting light bomb. Very nice choice, I think, because the enemy team is gonna be diving her anyway.
Target falls.
Hogger is a little bit too far. There's going to be a hunt on Shintaro. Kill on Zenduin. Very nicely done by the Ilden.
Oh,
and
that's-
you just keep on going. Without any saves, Vala falls down immediately, and the rest of the team is split, which means that they will just fall down one by one by one. And Ubrak is dead. The Haka is able to stay alive because the enemy team does not want to spend minutes chasing him down. Instead, you can just go for the top keep, or even ignore that one and go for the core.
Yeah, I think I'll just be able to win at this point, especially with the lane now. And yeah, the Haka's back, but he can't do anything, especially with the Warden's Cage just zoning him out.
But the Haka is the
GG.
best hero in the game who can 1v5 ever. Oh well. Congratulations to Entre, Parenthèses.
So that's a 3-0, and yeah, it looked like, well, it was a closer final game, right?
Yeah,
but it was-
it was
the closest game out of the 3 that we have.
Close
It
until it
was.
wasn't.
Parentheses, looking dominant in game 1, game 2, Nexus Critters. Looking stronger in game number 3. But, entre parentheses, they just still overwhelmed their opponents. I have to say, this feels like the most dominant final we had so far.
Yeah, it was pretty stompy, especially the first 2 games. I felt like Nexus Critters were a bit more into the game in this last game, but then Entre Parenthèses just managed to turn it, and well, that's just how it goes in HOTS. You know, there's a lot of combat potential, contrary to popular belief. So if you make one mistake a bit late in the game, you just snowball out and lose.
I like the plans that Nexus Critters have going for them. Just pick that big break wall after, behind which you have the Anduin and the Vala just helping the team and doing the damage respectively. But the plan from Entre Parenthèses, which they have gotten going in the second half of the game and won it for them in the end, was quite simple. You just split the enemy team, you make sure that this wall is not as solid as it looks, you just split them out, dive on the backline after Hogger goes too deep, kills the Hogger once he's too deep, kills the Haka once he goes into the Narnia, and after which Anduin is quite free if you dive him. Vala can't do much without the Anduin, and everyone just falls apart at this point.
Yeah, it looked good at the start for Nexus Critters in this game number 3. They really played around getting a cocoon and getting pickups. It's exactly what in game number 1 Sven's Angels did against Hands Up. They just cocooned someone and afterwards they killed it. And it was exactly what Nexus Critters did in this game number 3. It worked out pretty decent for them, but in the end it was just way too strong team fights coming in from the side of Entre Parenthèses, and this just gave them the win, especially in the later stages with the global of Illidan, with the hand onto the Anduin. He was in huge troubles every time.
Yeah, for sure. That's the strength of Ilden. Like he can just jump on the back line, especially with a frontline comp like that. If you just kind of forget about protecting your backline, because you're all like the frontliners of a comp like that have to do some work damage wise, and that can leave the backline a bit exposed, especially when team fights become as chaotic as they did in that game. I wasn't sure where to look most of the time because so much was going on my screen. And it was really, really chaotic.
Feels like Dragon, man. But yeah, let's get them in a second. I have to just do one thing. Give me 1 sec, guys. One. And then we are able to get a winner's interview actually from
cool.
Entre Parenthèses.
Hi.
Hey.
Hello.
Hello.
Congratulations on your victory.
Yeah,
Charles.
big congratulations. It was very impressive.
Indeed.
Very decisive.
In the meantime, before we go to any further questions or something, we also do have someone from the board, from the upper echelons of Heroes Launch, coming in to congratulate you as well. Please welcome Philip, Mr. Chief League, and who has been around since forever in Heroes Launch.
Thank you for the introduction, Samu, and yeah, big congratulations to you, Parenthèses. Like, that was impressive. Like, that was a very concisive win, and with that, you can now call yourself the Division 2 Cup winners of Season 16. And with that, in the past, we would always say you get the finest quality of plastic, but these days it's actually more the finest quality of metal, because we are switched it up to medals. So we will be sending you and your whole team medals. We will contact you shortly about it, and we will send it to the captain, and then you can distribute it throughout the rest of your team. So yeah, big congratulations to you all, but also of course to the Nexus Critters that put up a really good fight, as well as the rest of the Division 2 this season, which was amazing matches we've seen.
Thank you a lot, and yeah, congrats to Nexus Critters.
All right, thank you, Philip, for joining us. And now back to our winners. How do I pronounce it correctly?
Entre parenthèses.
I was so close.
It's pretty good pronunciation, actually.
Oh well.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna try. I can do it in Norwegian. Entre parenthèses.
All right. First of all, going into this series, what were your thoughts on Nexus Critters? Did you think, yeah, easy 3-0, or they gonna beat us? Help.
Honestly, we didn't really know, because when we played against them in the season, we had 2 players. We were not available, and we had to play with the sub. So yeah, they kinda stomped us, but I don't think it was really relevant, because we just didn't have our entire team. So yeah, we didn't really know what would happen in the final. But yeah, I guess it was good for us. I mean, we did really well, and won 3-0, which is really good.
Indeed, the 3-0 is always... I mean, also, it was not just a simple 3-0. It looked also pretty good, especially the first 2 games. Like, game number 1, those combos. Do you play a lot of Lyric Stukov? Because those entombs into Silence of Stukov just looked so annoying, and I would have hated to play against it, honestly.
Yes, Stukov is a pick really powerful, actually. We see it in the early game, where I can poke all my way during early bot. It was really annoying for them, I guess. With Storm, we got a new combo at 10. So yeah, it was. It's not a combo we do often during the regular season, but we like to play Stukov. We like to play Leoric. It was a good opportunity to try it and make it work. So we are glad it was a good combo for us.
Yeah, what did you think about them not banning Stukov and not picking it? Because I also think he's super strong at the moment.
Yeah, I think the current build Silence is really powerful, nearly broken, I guess. So I think let's took off open and don't pick it. It's a great risk, since you can nearly destroy any team with it. So I think they should have banned it.
Yeah, I totally agree with that.
So in Game 3, we have seen a little bit of an interesting pictures from you guys. We have seen an Illidan and the Maiev playing in Division 7. I don't see those quite often down here. Is it something that you've practiced before in the season, or was it just a spur of the moment decision?
Honestly, at the moment, Maiev is a really powerful pick, maybe even top tier. But so we just picked her because she was open, and I think it was a really good pick. But for Lidan, I picked it because I had the last pick. I think they didn't really could one-shot me too easily. And also I have the sub global with the Hunt. So I think the pick was good. And also we had Joanna, so I have a cleanse if really I get CC'd. So yeah, I think it was really good. I wanted to pick Butcher if I could, but
Oh no! That would have just been so BM, man. Even thinking that.
Yeah, but it was really. I mean, I just can't play Butcher into Ogre and the hacker. There's 3 millies, and also they have Anduin, so they can just pull everyone. So I just couldn't play Butcher. But yeah, I picked Illidan, which I think was a decent pick. Yeah. And we had 3 millies, but with Joanna, it works really well with the ultimate. So yeah.
Indeed, the falling
especially
source.
going into
the falling source. The falling source on 20 was just insane. But like, Maiev and Illidan is in, and there's 4 opponents, and you just gotta heal them up and put damage on the others. Also, the Butcher, you pulled it off I think 2 times in the regular season, so it definitely is something you do. You have shown that you can play. But another thing which we didn't see today at all, not even in Division 3, and good that we have the healer here now, is what are your thoughts onto the Rhaegar rework now? He was banned all 3 games long by you guys, so you definitely respect that pick.
We didn't have a lot of time to try Rhaegar, so I'm not sure about what I'm gonna say, but we think the totem build is really, really good. I don't think it's nearly as powerful like some Stukov, by example, but it's a strong pick. We still don't know its limits, so by caution, we banned it, and it was not a problem for us like this.
All right, thank you. Any more questions from you, Dino and Josh?
I don't think I have any. In fact, I'm still shell-shocked from that game number 2, so I can't really ask questions anymore.
Yeah. You guys, how did it feel to take down their fort at 4 minutes 28 seconds? Did you just feel great right then, or like what does it feel like being that good?
It was unexpected.
Picking Zarya Val and not expecting to take down the forward in less than 5 minutes. How? But yeah, congratulations to you again, and any shoutouts from your side towards the viewers or anyone else who you wanna shout out and thank for?
I don't know, Nato.
I don't know too, so
maybe we can thank the Malcox, because I played with us in the big part of the season, but I didn't play with the playoff with us. because he was really busy. But thank you, Malcox. And also a big thanks to all our fans around the world. We are supporting us, of course. No, but thank you for casting, and thanks the Heroes Launch organization for making it possible. I think it's really important for the community since the game needs this kind of thing to keep the game needs it to be alive. Yes. So yeah, thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, thanks for them great games. And especially the last one was super chaotic and hard to cast, so thanks for that.
At least they didn't play Dragonshire.
At least they didn't play Shrines. Right.
Alright, thank you guys for joining us. Have fun with the rest of the evening. You are now the winners. Have fun with your medals, and hopefully to see you again next season in the Heroes Launch. The season is open, so if anyone is interested in the chat exclamation mark, sign up and you will get the link for that. Alrighty.
Wait, do we need to do the rest of the spiel, or...?
Alright, thanks guys for joining. And yeah, thank you Lino and Josh for joining as well. Anything you want to say for the end of the stream?
Thanks for... Oh lord. Stukov OP. Dihaka doesn't do anything. Dihaka lost. Stukov won 2 games and then got banned. Just facts and logic there, my friend. Anyway, thanks everyone for watching us. Thanks everyone for playing in launch, doing things regarding launch, and yeah, don't forget to sign up for the next season. I believe that deadline is the 19th, so next week, maybe the week after that.
Next Sunday, yes, the 19th.
And yeah, if you see a cool moment during a cast, please clip it, please put it in the clip launch. If you see a good... If you want to talk about interesting things that happened in your games, please do talk about those and just share the joy. And yeah, that's the message that I want to send. And also, have fun out there.
Yeah, sign up for next season and let me win, please.
Alright, this is my last time this season also on this channel. I want to also thank you everybody for watching. Thank you everybody for joining me, Leon Josh, today, as well as Evate earlier today, and also last week we had some great people coming in. Also tomorrow we will have Luca coming in as the host and running the production, and he will be joined in the earlier games by... I definitely do know that. For Division 1 it will be Sergeant Johnny and Mr. Shadow Rider or Hot Cheese, and for a second it will be Tiny Toxic Tofu, the teammate of Nos, who did cast earlier, and Joy K. So we do have some great games coming up tomorrow with Division 1 and Division 1 Plus finals. So thank you everybody for watching, thank you everybody for having a great time this season, and hope to see you all around next season and also tomorrow for watching the last 2 finals of the season. Bye!
Have fun!
There's going to be a stun lock coming through. There's going to be a Horrify being used, but the Falling Sword is there, keeping them all alive. While Tannis is good with their focus though onto the main. The High Five trying to keep him alive. Gets through to the boot, and Junkrat can't get the kill. No, he does. He's just kidding. Does get the kill, and May does go down. Sven's Angels, they're fighting back here in game number 4.
Odin is still waiting to be popped for the side of Sven's Angels. They've got to go now, and they get the kill onto Hanzo, but that is at what cost, as Urel will fall as well, so there's no front line available for Hands Up, and their core taking a little bit of damage. The shield's now regenerating, but Tygus is going to be the first one to fall, and there's another reset, and potentially Hands Up have saved the game. Ruzza Shoe though is going to be targeted by the Garrosh. Mandy has to walk away for now. Squeaky doing some good peeling on the background, but huge lead from Ruzza Shoe on the Sonya. That is such a good engage, and they have the light bomb follow up as well. 2-0 as Garrosh and Li Ming will both fall.
Yeah, it was a huge Dragon's Arrow from downtown from Hanzo.
The big root though onto Artanis is able to walk away for now. We do see Calypso also dropping kind of low on the Lucio, but this core is melting, and this looks like it is going to be GG. Hands Up somehow managed to win it.
Sorry.
Woo! It's 1-1. We are all tied up after a fantastic comeback from Hands Up.
Comes through. Rich is on his way back. No, he's paying and then coming back, but I think the pay isn't going to help anything here. And I think this core is undefendable, and this is going to be GG, well played, hands up. They take the